Let me hear you say pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da. Crazy at this thing called love, just what I've been dreaming of. I can never figure out, oh, how you do the things you do. Is why I'm so in love with you. I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. Is why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. If I met you in another life and you asked me to be your wife, with grace and a smile I say, yeah, always now and forever. You be my one and only lover. Cause I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da pa 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 da.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Eternal Commander Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Today's another day. We hope it doesn't rain, but if it doesn't rain where you are, expect some cloudiness. This is Rhode Island. Today is Thursday, April the what? April the 4th, 2023. God help Liberia. We have news in my county where the fight is going to be. We have news in Lofa County where the fight is ongoing. These two counties right now are in upheaval. Why? There's a fight between the CDC and the CPP and this correction, the UP, Unity Party. Why? We get news of the machines breaking down, faults happening. We don't know why. All the machines in the UP stronghold having issues. People not voting. The UP just filed a complaint against, at the NEC, against people trying to sabotage the operation. Now they want more time for registration because They've lost a lot of people in registration. If all these machines in Lofa and Nimba, we've been complaining about this thing for the past 2 or 3 weeks now. With Thomas Fowler and his people up there causing commotion. Okay? The police can't do anything. The police part of CDC. So Unity Party filed a complaint. I'm waiting for my correspondent to come on who spoke this morning. And they complained. In the complaint, they're asking for more time. They're saying, look, if all the machines are breaking down in our stronghold, in Foya, and those places in Lofa County that UP is strong, all the machines breaking down. The people need more time. So the commotion has started already between the two strong parties. So you know already, people already got campaign posters up they're not supposed to have. I mean, all these irregularities. But we got to deal with these things. We got to deal with it. Right in Mansarado County, there's so many issues, man. It hasn't started yet. So if we're having all these delays and we're having all these issues with breaking down on the VVR machine and stuff like that, where we're going to go? Now they were talking about electricity. Unstable electricity. I mean, the BVR system cannot work without electricity. Look at all the network, all the podcast shows. That's all we're talking about. Nothing can function in our country without electricity. This is the modern day and age. We rely on the West for everything in Liberia, in Africa. Everything we get comes from the West. The West is modernizing every day, is modernizing, things are changing. And if we're depending on these people to make our world better, to advance our society, there will be a problem. We can't access electricity. That's a real problem. That's why I listen to all the people talking on the podcast, oh, how we need to do this, we need to do this. Nothing can happen in our country without electricity. I mean, it's not rationing electricity either. It's stable, continuous electricity throughout the country, 24 hours. Why we can't do that? Why is it so hard for us to do that? One, people stealing the lights. The very damn officials who's supposed to be protecting our interests are the same damn people who are the criminals. My people, we did this thing when we were young. When we were young, we didn't care that government go steal it. We stole electricity, we stole water, we stole everything. But there comes a point when you owe an allegiance to the country more than yourself. And I will talk about that in my lesson too. There comes a time when you owe an allegiance to the country and to the people more than you. Those are times when you are serving as leaders of our country. Yes, it's always been a habit that the leaders always get the best. Leaders always treat them well, with respect and dignity, all of that. But our leaders can be blind to the plight of our people, despite the fact that our people showing them all this respect, all this love, all this honor. They themselves are blind to reciprocating the love that is being shown them by the people to the people. You see, that's the problem. And listen to all the podcasts this time. All of that people talking about we the people. We the people. For too long now, everything has been the leaders, the leaders, the leaders. That's ancient shit. That monarchy. We got to evolve as a new group of people. Our country is a symbol of what we should be and want to be in the future. Free, liberated people based on our own technologies, our own abilities, and our own innovation. It's hard when for so long we have been dependent. For so long we have been dependent. And for us to do the little things to expand our horizon, we don't trust each other. We don't respect each other. Every little thing, people seeking for power and position and the name, and all those things, sometimes you can't get it. Those are blessings. You can fight for them all your lives. You will never achieve some of those things. Success, happiness, blessings, all you're not succeed. You are not. And even if you do, sometimes you'll be so blind, you will not even know and appreciate the gifts that have been given to you. That's because everything is about us. Me, me, me. Me, 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 my, oh, gimme, 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 oh, me, 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 me. That's the song we've been singing all our lives, man. Me, 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 oh, gimme, 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 please, oh, oh. That's the life we've been living, man. Everything is gimme, 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 please, please, me, my. We can't go on like that if we expect our nation and our people to move from one level to the next level. And let me tell you, my Liberian people, my class is to teach the philosophy of what we want to do in life. My class is also to bring to you the realism of the ideals that I want to impart to you, that may be philosophical, but have realism in the actualism. Oh, Lord, education is good. Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. It's good. But you got to understand how to impart that knowledge to other people. Because if you don't impart it in the right manner for them to grasp what you're trying to say and appreciate all of the ramifications of the things around, everything in this world is now one thing. We are not monolithic. Our world is now one world. We are many worlds. We are the spiritual world, the unforeseen world, the alien world. This world is too big. It's just too big for us to be the only sources of everything. So that's why there's mysticism, spiritualism, voodooism, all kinds of isms in this world. And if you dwell on politics, you are not dwelling on a short, limited time frame of existence. Why? Because politics changes. No matter how much of a dictator you are, there comes a time you will end a dictatorship. There are many reasons that can cause you to end your dictatorship, natural and unnatural. So when I come to teach, I want my people to understand the essence of what I'm teaching them. Okay? Because many are called, but very few are chosen. Very few. Some people come here, they hear me talking, they don't grasp what I'm talking. Because what I'm talking is above them. They won't hear about pussy, nut, and all the kind of, and sometimes you can delve down into that level, but not you don't stay down there. You don't stay down there. Every level has its characteristics. And you got to know where you are. Sometimes we must go low to bring some of our people up. There are times we must do it because, like Liberia right now, we have lost almost everything in our country, man. Our country came from a thriving African nation. Foreigners kill our president, destroy our country, turn us against one another. Why? You think why? We are not foolish people. Liberian people are ingenious people. God gave everybody in this world abilities. The white people have been able to harness their abilities. Because I told you before, whenever you are faced with atrocities, with many odds, God gives you ingeniousness, blessings, so that you can excel over these odds that you have. Living in the cold, these conditions in the West, it's not easy, my people. Let me tell you, my Liberian people, it's not easy. Living in a place where the weather condition changes consistently, you can have hail one day, you can have mud balls one day, snowballs, all the different things that these people experience in this country. Many of them we do not experience in Africa, especially where I come from. We see hail that is smaller than ice thing that take it. I didn't see real hail until I went to Germany in the U.S. Army. One night we were walking, everybody, we look, people just falling down. Boom, boom, boom. What was that? Golf balls coming from the skies. It was knocking people out. We were coming from Chow in the night. We had a tent, everything. We go to the mess hall tent, you get your food, you come outside, you can either eat outside or go to your tent. So that's what we were. But when we came outside, we just heard boom, 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 boom. I never heard that thing before. Hitting people in the head, God falling down. Then yeah, everybody, take cover, take cover. I see the thing falling in the ground. Hell level golf balls. Solid ice. I'm like, what? Then when it hit the tent, the thing breaking the tent, poof, poof. It was unbelievable. We don't experience that. Many of the things we don't experience in Africa like that. Yeah, we got the mudslides, the hurricanes and stuff like that. But many of the disasters that people in the Western world and European world face, God has blessed us for that. So that makes us kind of reluctant to do things. Lazy, laid back. I can climb the tree, get my power on. The next sun is over here. I just swing in the hammock. I swing one side, I pull up a banana, I eat it. I swing to the other side, I take a gulp of my power on, go. I swing to the other side, I take a little plum. That's how we've been living. A life of luxury. We just swing one side, pick this, swing to the other side. But the world is not like that, my people. Everybody wants to swing. And the people in the Western world that suffer from these atrocities need the resources we got in Africa to maintain their lifestyles. They need it. So if we keep swinging and enjoying life of leisure, of pleasure, of fun, we're going to lose. Because while we're swinging and enjoying, people can be taken from us. Then when we realize that the world is not a swinging world no more, it's a world that you got to get up and find technology and resources, we're not have any. We're not have any because we sold it all or we give it all away. Or other companies own it in our own country. In our own land, people own shit we can't access. This is the realization I bring it to you. How does the tribalism, the sexualism, the negativism help us? They don't. They don't. I was listening to a brother this morning on Shelton Fukano's show talking about discipline. This is where true discipline comes in. Where you know you have the ability to use, where you have the power to use, but yet you have the mentality to know that you can't use everything you got in one day. You got to keep something for tomorrow because we never know what tomorrow brings. You can have the voodoo and cast all the jigs and the jingle and the cow singing and the cowie and everything. You can shake all the voodoo you want to shake. If you don't preserve your physical needs for the future, there will be none. There will be none. So every day we face these negative things in our lives, in our communities, in our societies that we call attachments. Whenever you try to take a positive step forward, things attached to you, negative things that try to pull you down, leeches, like they're the leeches. You know, every time you take a step, they won't hang on you. So when you get your popularity, it can rub all off on them. Like you see some of these people come and attack people when you're talking, oh, that you jobless, you working, you did that. All those kind of comments come from negative feelings. Okay? Because it has no real impact on the speaker or the person who speaks, except you wanted to. But they don't. And sticks and stones can break your bones, but words cannot hurt or deter you, except you let them. And that's the magic of our lives. Because every time you take a step forward, there will always be attachments to pull you back, to pull you down. And those attachments can come in different forms. You know, they are deceitful attachments, misleading attachments, different kind of attachment. They just attach to you, they're glue. So when you shine, some of your success can shine over on them because you bring them into the spotlight. This is not what we want for our country, people. You know, every time I look at my Liberian people, I hear them talking. I hear about our experiences. I'm so impressed, man. I'm so impressed with my people that we got Liberians. I mean, the first time I called a bank in America and a Liberian answered the thing, you know how I felt? You know how I felt? The person was talking to me. They weren't talking, they were talking to me now because I sound better than most Liberians. But I'm not fully Americanized in my speech and all of that. So when I'm talking, you can hear my Liberian accent in the background if you listen good. So it's the same thing with most of us. No matter how you come here and try to adapt to the system, if you weren't born here, if you didn't grow up here from baby, your accent will always be in the background. So when I heard that person talking to me, I was like, oh, I said, hold on, bro, you Liberian? The person said, yeah, I'm from the Liberian community. I said, whoa, I said, man, congratulations, man, thank you. How long you been in this company? I wanted to know much about that person. Because we are far and few in between that can sell to this level. I tell you, when I came to America 20 years ago, you couldn't hear about Liberian people being in managerial positions, especially in my state now. I don't know about other people's state. Most of our work in the nursing home in the factory. Even if you go look for a good job, they want to know your degree, they want to dig down in there, you got to prove this and prove that. Then they want to know whether you can adapt to the system. That's another thing. And some of those things are true too, to some extent, because you got to understand American society. And this is why I try to teach some of my people. The people here work like hell in this country. And they joke like hell too. They like money. That's a fact. The guys on lazy ones too. Everything you see in Liberian society, they got it here. The same kind of people. But it's just that the people in this nation, in the majority, are conscious of who they are and what they want. They are conscious. Whereas we in Africa, we're not fully conscious because of our different lineages and links and linkages. We cannot define ourselves. So these people here, despite the fact that they come from different background and all that, even with you, In America, the people have to find their system. And if you fit in the system, there will always be racism. There will always be hatred in the society. People will always hate each other. People will always want to steal from each other. People will always want to dominate. Those are facts of life. You can't avoid them. Those are facts of life. And that is why, as Christians, we rely on the prayer of serenity to guide us. Help me to change the things I can change. The things I cannot change, let me leave it alone. But help me, God, that I can tell the difference between the two so I don't waste my time on bullshit when I can be doing something better for my people. I'm here fighting to change something that cannot be changed. And I don't have the insight, nor the discernment enough to know that it cannot be changed. And that's what kills us. We talk about modern technology. We're talking about advancing our minds. If we do not have the mental, spiritual capacity for us to think in that direction, it will not happen. For all of you people who deal with spiritualism, read Rampire, read all the spiritualism, what I tell you, if you believe it, it will happen. But you got to believe it. You got to believe it. And if you have doubts in any way, there are some things you do at the spur of the moment. You do it on belief. And with the fact that if I do it, I know it can happen. There's a possibility it will happen. And behold, it will happen. Because you believe. You put that spiritual trust in it. Same thing with everything we do. We read all these spiritual books. All those things come from your mind. They come from your mind. If you let them destroy you, they will destroy you. If you know who you are, from whence you came, and what you want to do in this world, very little things can deter you. Very little things. And that's why it is based on the foundation of understanding your society, understanding yourself, know who you are. What does that mean? When you know who you are, you know your God. You know your God. You know whether there's a spiritual being over you or not. You know your God. Because nothing can happen, whether you are spiritual or not, whether you believe in God or not. Things happen to all of us we can't explain. Miracles happen in our lives that we can't explain. Sometimes it will just happen once to let you know that this is the right path for you. You can accept it or you can leave it. Everything is based on faith. Do you believe? Do you believe? If you don't believe, it will not happen. If you believe it, it will happen. Especially if you all come together as a group and believe it. And Jesus told us about it. It doesn't only happen in Christianity. Jesus always told us where two or more shall gather together in my name, I will be there. Why? Because it's the force of spiritualism that people that are thinking alike and calling on the same thing in the spiritual realm, it may manifest itself. It may manifest itself. You get together with 5 people, you hold your hands and really believe in what you want to do and start chanting things and go deep into believing. Things will happen. Because we are not alone in this world. We are not alone. We are not alone. Don't you ask yourself why you live in Africa and other people live in Europe? Why you are born in a poor nation and not in a rich, wealthy nation? Why your parents not doing the things other good parents do when they step on you and do things that to you? And you ask yourself, why am I not born here? Who am I? What makes me who I am? Rodney Chesson, what makes me who I am? How did I come to this earth and this being of who I am? Did I formulate myself when I landed on this earth? I came from nowhere and I had to find out who I am, develop my spirit, develop my mind, develop my concept of life. All these things are significant. All these things are important to us in our daily lives. You know, who you hang with, who you marry, who you associate with. All of those things are significant in our lives because those are the attachments I talk about. Who you related to, who you're born with, who you connected to. Those are attachments. And those attachments can be good for you and they can be bad. You see some people that marry 4, 5 times, 6, 7, 8 times. The previous marriage were not good. But when you marry and you divorce, you don't leave whole. You always leave something back. When you find another person and marry and you divorce, you don't leave whole. You leave something back. There's always something attached to that. Attached to you. Because that attachment is formed. When you grow up, all those people attached to you who love you will benefit. They don't love you, they'll try to hurt you. That's nature. Or they will leave you alone and just ignore you. That's why in everything we do, you got to understand that there are consequences. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. We may not see it physically. Because if you do things spiritually, it's not coming back to you really physically. It may come back to you in the spiritual too. And you may owe things. You may owe things. That's why you got to know yourself. Understand who's your God. If you're a God-fearing and a God-loving person, you got to find your God. And you got to understand the teachings and implications of your God. Because if you don't, what are you having a God? When your God demands certain things of you and you cannot produce, what kind of help do you think you get? You can't no help. But the fact remains that if you're conscious of yourself, no matter how small you are, if you're truly conscious of who you are, you will find your God. And you will stick to it. Because some of us find our gods from childhood. But as we grow up, the influences around us, the attributes, the attachments, all of these things can sway us in different directions. You remember I told you that the first time I used to pray, I ever started praying, when I used to come home and my aunt and uncle used to flog me and then I was sleeping. Oh, the people had no mercy on me, man. Oh, they had no mercy on me. Those people would never say anything to me when I come home. They would treat me normal. They would laugh and smile with me, knowing in their hearts that they're going to flog me when I go to sleep. Can you imagine that? You never had anything in your life. Some of our experiences, you don't want to experience it. When I woke up in the night, these two people flogging me, man. But you know what they're doing is not because they hate you or because they want to tear you apart or break you down or they are abusers. Yeah, there might be a little sort of abuse in there, but hey, that's our culture. That's our upbringing. That's what our people believe in. Sometimes our people take the Bible literally. Spare the rod, you spoil the child. Flood that bitch till you die. And that's what the Bible says. That doesn't mean flocking your children. Flocking your children every day. Man. No, you can't do that, man. You got to flock your children with love, man. tell them why you're flocking them. Give them guidance and direction. Don't they flock the people say, pa, pa, pa. That's why I look at some of the white movies where they did children. With their pa talking, they be talking about their pa. Yeah, daddy, yeah. I said, why? I can't be like beautiful, man. Why? You be shaking your head talking like that before you get swing to one side, you hear pop. When you turn to the other side, you hear pop. You just say, "When I know how you hit the ground." When you get up, you not want to be there before that pop anymore. You won't run because you were scared of dead be Jesus out of you. Huh? The first slap, pop. The second, because you will tell your fear, pop. The second slap. Go try that shit in Africa. Go talk about the old people that start disrespecting and telling them who you are and what you got and what you can do, and you can't even buy a bag of rice. Try that shit. That was it. I remember my dad, Jesse. Oh man. So I used to get my pa hello. So I go to my pa, talking his jungle thing. And I would just tell you what I want to tell you. And sometimes he would not agree with it. On the same line, I see. Sometimes you do some things you don't know is wrong or right. But through your learning process, you can enjoy learning. If you got people who are willing to teach you, But there are some people, your learning process can be difficult, especially if you're dealing with the law and you're learning with the law. That's why your parentage, whoever are your parents, are very significant and important in your lives. Because that's where your foundation comes from. Everything you are comes from that. So if your parents are intellects and knowledgeable people, you got to be knowledgeable because every word they say to you will have some significance to it, or knowledge. And all their abbreviations, their pronunciations, enunciations, whatever you want to say, will be on cue and you can learn from that. So you grow up, even if you don't go to school. The way you see we have functional illiterates. Because they didn't go to school, they didn't want to go to school, but their parents were intellects. And they grew up in a house with intellects. If you got 6, 7 brothers, all of them got master's degree and PhD, and you are not going to school, obviously your IQ will be higher than people in the streets who don't have no mind and power to give them that kind of knowledge. But you still illiterate. You still dysfunctional. But because you live in a society and environment of intellect, the light shine on you, attachment. The same light shines on you. That's what I'm talking about. The same kind of attachment. I guess my whole subject this morning is about attachment. How people attach to you and the light from you shine onto them. That's the same thing I'm saying. When you're born in a household of light, what is light? Knowledge, understanding, comprehension of world affairs and issues. When you grow up in a house like that, whether you go to school or not, the knowledge of your people rub on you. My man just coming on. Let me see what Mr. Sam will cook. Sam? What happened to you, my brother?
Yeah, man, the network is giving me problem. I've been trying to go through. Okay, the network is giving me problem. It just coming on.
But don't walk around now before you lose connection.
It just coming on.
Stand at one place now before you lose connection. What happened in Liberia?
I just in back a taxi. Good morning. How you doing? How are you? Good morning.
Yeah, we listen.
Yeah, I think I got a place. I'm sitting here in the quiet place.
So what's happening in Liberia?
You getting me?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, talk, we get you.
Yeah, I just got a news. Just got a fresh news. If you get me, that normally and ability with Cummings.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, talk. I think he's trying to tell us that this connection with ability and normally Kanga and Darius Dillon, all of them, they're coming together now because I saw a picture on the internet with all of them together. So the connection is still poor in Liberia, but if he comes back on, I'm sure that's what he's going to tell us, that there are news right now that the CPP coalition with Elliot Cummings, all of them, probably have found a solution to the issues. So whatever it is, oh yeah, he is again. He's not connected though. So let's just wait for him. He's been having problems coming on because I spoke to him at 8 o'clock this morning and he told me the issues then. Now he's telling us about this new development that he's hearing about.
Yeah.
Stop
Right,
walking.
right.
Sam, stop walking and talk. Stop walking. What's the news about Monday?
Wait, right again. How to get in? Huh?
I can hear you. Talk.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get a network.
But just stand up. Don't stop moving. Stand up and talk. What's happening with Numbly?
I can't get network.
I can hear you. Just talk. What's happening with Numbly? What's happening with Numbly, man?
So I should go ahead. You can hear me?
Yes, I keep telling you, go ahead.
I'm not moving.
But talk, Karen. Sam, talk. Well, I guess that's the problem with him. He wants to hear me connect with him before he talks, and that's not happening. But anyway, my people, we hope that these people come together because there's no reason why Nomli Kanga, Eric Cummings, and Darren Dillon cannot communicate with each other. There's no way. I'm not adding Musa Ability there. Musa Ability is a convict. He's a damn criminal. He's convicted by FIFA, and he got to go to FIFA and clear his name. And you see, these are the things in Liberia we got to talk about. Because if our nation got to be a nation that has leaders of integrity, they must demonstrate that they are men and women of integrity. They can't be going around committing acts that would disparage their names and bring dishonor to Liberia, and we still take these people and take them and put them in places of trust and honor. This is stupidness. As long as the world has condemned Musa Ability, FIFA is not a national organization of a country. It's an international organization of football players that are attached to nations. If Musa Ability is convicted of a crime in this organization, he needs to go back and clear his damn name. So whether Elliot Cummings or Nomri Kanga and Darius Dillon want to come together and they continuously keep Musa Ability in their midst, they can't win. They can't win. Because we know more of Musa Ability than Jeremiah Coon. Musa Ability had been doing shit in Liberia since Taba time. He was always on the news for something to do with corruption or money or failure to pay or something. And this is the same Musa Ability today. It's a kingmaker in Liberia. It's not right. We're making it different from PYG. It's not right. We keep following the people that have broken our country down. We keep following the people that bring up shame and disgrace. Hey, this kid won't come back on, but I don't know what to do. What's up, Sam? You can hear me? Can you hear me?
Come on, come on. Yeah, you can get me now, Claire.
What were you telling us about Normally Kanga?
Yeah, Nyomli Kanga Lawrence. What we learned this morning, she and Boaka, and Bility, we believe that they have started. You getting me?
No, I didn't hear the last part.
Are you getting me?
What happened to Normally Kanga?
Oh, God. Hey, network. Man, the network's a problem here. Network.
Just talk, Sam. What's happening with Normally Kanga?
I can get you. Network's a problem. If you get me, I learned from. So what we're gathering today is Normally want to go as fast to Cummins.
Ah. Okay, so we're getting it clearer now. Normally Kanga wants to be vice president to Ella Cummings. So if she wants that kind of connection, you know she got to come together with the CPP and Musa Ability and all of it. But my correspondent is not giving us the message clear. You know, he giving it us in bits and pieces. But anyway, that's the news. My hour is almost up, so he's not coming back on. Nomi Kanga and LA Comics are now forming a connection. If the man doesn't talk this time, he's not coming back on because I gotta end my show. What you gotta say, Sam? Say it. What you gotta say? Okay, so that's the news from Liberia. Right now, I got a video from my people on the Buddha-Pro refugee camp. Let me bring them on, and I keep him off. Okay, after this video, my show will be over. Okay, so it's almost 8 o'clock. Let's play this video. Well, that was our school on the Buddha Broom camp in Ghana. Dr. Glenn S. Prescott Community Self-Help Vocational Baking School. That school was started last year. We had our first graduation, and it's continuing this year. Okay, so we wish them well, and we wish that most students in the camp take advantage of this class. It's a baking school that my wife and I started, and it has been doing well. Karen McLaurin and I started, so it has been doing well. And we want to take our hats off to the teachers and the supervisor that keep this organization going. I just got a text from Mr. Wilker telling me that Numbly Kanga and Ellie Cummings are considering a merger. That's what I'm talking about. I saw the picture together. So the Unity Party is coming to their senses now, and they want to form a merger because Numbly want to be vice president of Liberia to Ellie Cummings. Okay? Because Joe Boca dissed her does not mean that she's not quality material for somebody else. Okay, that's my news for today, my people. Whatever we got to do it well. See where you got to go well. If it's raining, keep your umbrella near you. Stay safe. And stay out of trouble. It's not your portion. Okay? Have a good day, my people. I see you tomorrow. Let me get these things going. Let me get my bearings correct.